Okay, time for the very last act of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I'm really excited. I'm a little bit anxious. I'm disappointed that I'm going to be finishing it soon. But I've actually waited a couple days. I was going to do it yesterday, but then I ended up going to my parents' house instead. So, and then they invited me over again today, but this time I was like, no, because I really need to finish this. I need to know what happens. Um, as far as Scorpius and Albus go, I'm anxious to see what happens. I don't think what I want to happen is going to happen, so, I'll be disappointed but not surprised when the book ends and they don't get together. But I am, anxious about, what, it's starting to get dangerous. One kid, I think his name was Craig Bowker Jr., I think it was him, he already died. I don't know even if they managed to reset the timeline again somehow. I don't know if he can come back and be unkilled or not. So that's already pretty serious. And there could be more deaths. I can't imagine that they would kill Albus or Scorpius. They're the two main characters of this play, so I really hope that they both end up okay. But Delphi's obviously a pretty dangerous person, whether or not she's actually the child of Voldemort or not. She's still, very cunning, obviously, and will stop it. She won't stop until she gets what she wants. So. And also we last left Harry, Ron, Hermione, Ginny, maybe Draco. I don't remember who was all there. They were tracking her down to the wizarding old folks home and found her room there, and then they found the prophecy that she'd been talking about. That would bring Voldemort back, and then they found out that she thinks that she is the daughter of Voldemort, so they don't know if it's true or not, but clearly she thinks so. And then we last left Albus and Scorpius at Hogwarts, somewhere near the Forbidden Forest, but not in it, and in an unknown year. My guess would be that it's sometime between the third task in 1995 and Voldemort's defeat in 1998. It has not yet been made clear, so maybe we'll find out soon. I hope so. And the Time Turner had been destroyed as well. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Well, if they're only stuck for 5 minutes either way, wouldn't they just go back to their own time? I don't know. So let's just, without further ado, let's find out what happens. I won't be able to read it all in one sitting because I'll have to make dinner, but then I'll just do that and go back to it. So this is part 2. Okay, Act 4. It looks to be a little bit shorter than the others. Yeah, this is definitely less than a quarter of the book. And again, I believe it said that not all of this book was play. All right, so Act 4 starts on page 245, and then the next thing starts on page 311. So we've got 50 odd pages. Which sounds like it's a lot, but I don't want it to end. Alright. Act 4. Act 4, Scene 1. Ministry of Magic Grand Meeting Room. Okay, so I guess they're gonna tell the whole world that Voldemort has a daughter, is what she's... Oh my god, okay, I'm nervous, I'm excited, I'm anxious, all of the things. Wizards and witches from all over cram into the grand meeting room. Hermione walks onto a hastily made stage. She raises her hand for silence. Silence falls. She's surprised at the lack of effort it took. She is the minister for magic, so, like, I would hope that... Whatever. She looks around herself. Hermione, thank you. Nothing has happened. I didn't even read ahead. I'm just like, I'm excited and anxious. So, Hermione, thank you. I'm so pleased so many of you were able to make my second extraordinary general meeting. I've got some things to say. I ask that we deal with questions, and there will be a lot of questions, after I speak. Oh. As many of you know, a body has been found at Hogwarts. His name was Craig Bowker. He was a good boy. We have no firm information who was responsible for the act, but yesterday we searched St. Oswald's. A room there revealed two things. One, a prophecy that promised the return of darkness. Two, written on the ceiling, a proclamation that the Dark Lord that Voldemort had a child. The news reverberates around the room. We don't know the full details. We're only just investigating, questioning those with a Death Eater connection, and as yet no record has been found either of the child or of the prophecy, but it does look like there's some truth to it. This child was kept hidden from the wizarding world. Oh, really? Who? Now I'm curious about her. Like, where did she come from? Again, I have trouble believing that she's actually Voldemort's child. But, like, where, so who were, even if she was, she still had to have had a mother, so who is her mother? And if Voldemort is not the father, then who is her father? And I don't know, this whole thing is so weird. This child was kept hidden from the wizarding world, and now she's Professor McGonagall. She? A daughter? He had a daughter? Hermione. Yes, a daughter. So wait, so Hermione seems to believe without question that that she's Voldemort's. I mean, I guess the thing is, really, at this point, it doesn't matter whether she's actually Voldemort's child or not. She believes she is, and she's fighting to, to do her thing, to get him back. So, I mean, I guess, like, technically it doesn't, for all intents and purposes, it doesn't really matter. She's, okay. Professor McGonagall, and is she now in custody? Harry, Professor, she did ask for no questions. Hermione, it's fine, Harry. No, Professor, that's where this gets worse. I'm afraid we've no means of taking her into custody, or indeed stopping her doing anything. She's out of our reach. Professor McGonagall, we can't look for her? Hermione, we have good reason to believe she's hidden herself in time. Professor McGonagall, of all the reckless, stupid things, you kept the time turner even now? Hermione, Professor, I assure you. Professor McGonagall, shame on you, Hermione Granger. Hermione flinches in the face of the anger. Harry, no, she doesn't deserve that. You have a right to be angry, you all do, but this is not all Hermione's fault. We don't know how the witch got hold of the time turner, whether my son gave it to her, Ginny, whether our son gave it to her, or whether it was stolen from him. Ginny joins Harry on the stage. Professor McGonagall, your solidarity is admirable, but it doesn't make your negligence negligible. How does she say that, like, and take it seriously? Oh, wow. Draco, then it's a negligence I too should face. Draco walks up to the stage and stands beside Ginny. This is almost a Spartacus moment. There are gasps. Hermione and Harry have done nothing wrong but try and protect us all. If they're guilty, then I am too. Hermione looks across at her cohort, moved. Ron joins them on the stage. Ron, just to say, I didn't know about much of it, so I can't... I didn't know about much of it, so can't take responsibility, and I'm pretty sure my kids had nothing to do with it. But if this lot are standing up here, then so am I. Ginny. No one can know where they are, whether they're together or apart. I trust that our sons will be doing all they can to stop her, but... Hermione. We haven't given up. We've gone to the giants, the trolls, everyone we can find. The Aurors are out flying, searching, talking to those who know secrets, following those who won't reveal secrets. Harry. But there is one truth we can't escape, that somewhere in our past a witch is trying to rewrite everything we ever knew. And all we can do is wait. Wait for the moment she either succeeds or fails. The thing is, like, if she does succeed, like, they won't know, because, I mean, yes, the timeline will be rewritten, but all of what's going on here will just be erased. It's like, you know, the only people who it would actually affect would be people who were, you know, went back in time with her. So, you know, Albus and Scorpius right now, I think, and her obviously, but like all these people in the room, like they won't ever know that this timeline now is even ever existed. Like, you know, some of the people in this room, like, you know, Harry and possibly others might not be alive, and you know, and then there are others who were killed that probably will be alive. So it's, I mean, I still, you know, it's still, I don't know what they think they can do. So if they find a way to stop her, you know, then that's great. But like, I don't know, I don't really know what the point is, but whatever. Professor McGonagall. And if she succeeds, Harry, then just like that, most of the people in this room will be gone. Will no longer exist, and Voldemort will rule again.